Oh, there it goes. The show is on. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. You're in the zone with me. Oh my God. Okay, I should stop now. And yes, this is pretty much the overdue review of Mad Max, the video game. And before I go into this game, before I go into this review, I should pretty much note this one factor. I was pretty much focused on Metal Gear Solid 5, so this game was not on my things to do at all. So by all means, this is just for kicks, which I always do in my videos. They're all for kicks, so it's not really personal. But anyways, let's go with the gameplay and mechanics of Mad Max, because I'm going to talk about the good parts and then go on for the bad parts. So yeah. Also, I won't spoil the story, but let's be honest, it's a Mad Max story. So yeah. Anyways, first off the back, it's very beautiful. The Mad Max video game, the world itself is very beautiful. It feels like you're in a wasteland type area, but more desolate than New Vegas. Because New Vegas has some plant life, has some more vegetation areas, has some animal life. Here, there's pretty much nothing. There's only sand, the road, repeatable enemies, and a sandstorm. I'll get into that later. Anyways, upgrading your car is one of the best perks in this game because the car mechanic is very, very fun. Because you get to drive, get to race, you get to blow up shit, get to take down a grappling hook or a hook itself. Hooking down and breaking down building structures is all fun. It really is fun. Taking down forts, invading enemies' camps, which is the most fun part of the game. Next to driving your car and just pretty much running over assholes. And pretty much going in there, just pretty much just being OP motherfucker, like just shoot everybody with your shotgun, sort of shotgun, really. But don't lean so much on that shotgun because it doesn't have good range. It's good at short range, but when you upgrade it, it becomes a little bit more powerful, and to the point where you don't need to fight nobody. I mean, you don't have to fight every single person because you use your shotgun. But since the ammo is so limited, it's gonna take some time to make sure your shotgun's like fully stocked of ammo and just taking care of all the enemies. Anyways, so you go to a lot of strongholds, and the strongholds. They're a really cool element to the gameplay because you go out and pretty much find miscellaneous stuff to make the stronghold stronger, better, and more accurate. It work for you. It's pretty much for your own benefit. It's like a perk. It doesn't really matter what goes on in the world. It's for your perks. That's what the game comes down to. The perks that you do, like upgrading your car, upgrading yourself, adding more elements to your stronghold, will make you to pretty much a powerhouse character, just like Mad Max is in the movies, in a sense of way. And you will pull off some crazy, stupid fun, and just out, you'll be having a great time playing as Mad Max. He's a really solid character. And yes, the combat is just like Arkham Knight series, Arkham series, where you got press one button to block and this and that. However, that's like other people have been saying, you gotta use the direction, the analog stick, to pretty much block that character who's ever coming like left or right. For an example, if an enemy is trying to attack me from behind, my thumbstick must point down to block his attack. You have to press triangle too if I have a PS2 or whatever it could be. And it was really cool. Like the combat, pretty much combination that you do, break enemies' arms, necks, putting a shotgun through their own stomach. It was like brain matter. Well, there's no really brain matter in the place, but it's really cool. Finding new areas in the game is really, really interesting. It makes the world even more. You want to explore other universe even more. You want to explore the lands even further because you might think you've seen it all, but under the surface of the map, there's underground subway stations. There's an abandoned airport with an underground station as well, which is weird itself. And there's just so much more that it's a blast. It's just a blast exploring more elements in this game. Finding new cars, bringing back to your stronghold, which is a pain in the ass, which is another story too. All kinds of elements, and pretty much when you come to the close to the end of the game, your character's already maxed out. And the ending for this game was really good. It was really smart too to go for that angle than the other one. I'm not done yet because I don't want to go into the bad just yet. There's more good parts to it. If you're just looking for a game that pretty much is just pure fun, you don't have to worry about the story because you kind of know what's going to happen in the story. However, the story is still enjoyable and pretty much interesting. You might meet new characters, interesting elements, what happens to your characters and supporting characters, and it's a really somber type of feeling when you come to the end of the game. And it's like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. I just like these characters, and now they're X, Y, and Z. And so the story itself is enjoyable. You understand it, but it's not like it's not Mozart. It's not like not Mozart. I mean, it ain't Shakespeare put like that. It's not Shakespeare. It's not nothing like that. It's nothing like groundbreaking. But it's easy to understand, like Metal Gear Solid 5 storyline, which makes no clear sense at times. But that's a different story though. So again, it's an awesome game. And let me go into the bad parts. So for people saying it's just like Just Cause or has the same elements of Just Cause, no, it's not. Whoever says that, stop lying to yourself. There's no elements of Mad Max that has a similar elements as Just Cause, because Just Cause is pretty much a free roaming game, which is Mad Max as well. But the free roaming in Just Cause was more in depth. It was more deeper. It was more, you can go anywhere. I mean, anywhere, and no one can tell you what to do. And you can go up to mountaintops or pretty much go underwater. It was all straight out fun, and you just do more stupid shit. And this predicament, it becomes a little bit more annoying as time goes on, because you can always fast travel, but there will be some elements you can't fast travel to, which is a headache, a real big headache. And so it pretty much goes to the same tropes as every open world game, and pretty much falls in the traps of open world games. It gives you pointless side quest missions, or pretty much boring missions too. Really just dull and boring missions, or pretty much buggy as hell missions, or pretty much not just buggy, but somehow the controls are not broken, but are complex to actually understand or handle. For a good example, the racings in this game. How can I pretty much put it more lightly? How can I say it like this? It sucks. It reminded me of Arkham Knight's driving, or pretty much taking down stupid bullshit tanks, because they give you different cars on different types of modes you race in. And since you have a different car, you can't use your own car because they think it's unfair at times, which is kind of true, but who cares? It's easy to handle. But these cars are not easy to handle. They're a little bit too fast. But when you take them off-road, they're easy to handle, but the speed, it just downgrades it so bad. It's like a pain in the ass. But when you get to on the path, your car steers to the left and right for no apparent reason. Like, what? And when it hits something, oh my god, you will hit the wall itself, or hit rocks or boulders that can't be hit by a car easily, whatever case may be, and it will drive you insane. Like, what the fuck? Because I didn't run into that fucking thing. I meant to go left, not right. And trust me, it gets more a pointless task to do, to pretty much maintain your car speed, maintain this and that, while killing the other enemies right in front of you. The enemies are not the issue. It's just pretty much the car mechanics of driving in a race, that is. Because when you go on free roam and just pretty much do whatever you want to, it's fun. You have no rules. You pretty much do whatever you want to. The rules are somewhat strict in some ways. I mean, you can veer off the path all you want to, but you got to reach this checkpoint. If you don't reach that checkpoint, you're going to lose. You got your car, you're going to lose, which is it was just standard, and I understand that too. But when it comes to killing off your opponents, they're okay with that. So it's like, okay. And so, and again, it goes later in the game, and it becomes very monotonous and just like a chore, a boring chore that you have to deal with in the game that you don't want to do anymore. It stops becoming fun. The racing itself isn't fun anymore. It's like if you play one race, you play them all. But when it comes to a story mission, or the story has a racing mission, I can't tell you that mission's name, but it was so aggravating that I just hate the game all out. Like, let me put it like this, because you're trying to kill this one driver, and you can't use your own car. You can use some other asshole's car and use a fighter who helps you, but the fighter sucks at shooting, and the reloading time isn't fast at all. And you're indoors, by the way. You're indoors racing and trying to kill this one guy who has mines and flamethrowers on the sides. It's like, oh my god! And then he spills out random as hell enemies who just pisses you off. So it was like, oh god, why, more why? You become so tired that you're gonna say, fuck this mission. But you can't really leave it, because here's the fun part. If your game crashes, I was playing this on PC, by the way. If your game crashes or stops working for some odd reason, and you go back into the game again, it sets you back at that mission that you hate so much. It's like, what? So the only way you can actually end it is you abandon it, or you fail the mission, or you beat it. Either or. There's no other way to get out of that mission, like a normal open world game does. No, you're forced to do it. And because the AI is not really smart, they're actually just annoying pests. It's like, oh god, because you repeat the same combat movements as pretty much as Batman does. And you just go against these enemies again, get your heavy attacks, your light attacks, your crazy wild ones, blah blah blah, and they're repeating boss fights at other special stronghold or special camps. And by all means, they're not original. They're just like the Bane fights. Like, oh, it's just like the Bane fight. And so, beyond that bullshit, which I didn't even care about these missions at all, except for like invading the camps, which is fun and all. But you would come to pass a minefield mission. It's a side quest mission by all means, but the side quest mission for that, the minefield it's annoyingly bad, because you gotta use a buggy, which is from I forgot that stupid anyway, it's from that hunchback motherfucker, and he has a dog, of course, right? A dog who doesn't do dick besides sniffing out mines. Again, that's all he does. And no, you cannot put him in your own car. You gotta go in the guy's buggy, which is at the stronghold. And also, if you press fast travel, it gives you back your car, not the buggy. So you go all the way back to your stronghold, get that said car, and go back out to the minefield. And by all means, you cannot really fast travel or do anything like that. And the car is slow. It has no real weapons besides your own shotgun, and that's it. You're kind of screwed. 100% screwed. Yay. And the game does become a grind. That's just to get to point A to point B, or B to A, depending on the situation. Because you do a lot of backtracking, a lot. And when you're trying to collect items, this is where the part where it's beautiful to just pretty much, it's too beautiful. It's too beautiful because the items that you're trying to collect blend in with the background badly. And you only see if it flashes, that's a good thing, but this only comes around when it's very dark, when the environment's very, very dark, or not so lighted area. If you're in like outside, where it's in the open sun, it's hard to tell. And when you're pretty much in complete darkness, then you don't see shit. You really don't. And so the flashlight's okay, but it kind of hurts the eyes for some people like me, like, because it was kind of annoying. Like, can I just put up the brightness, because the light is actually distracting me. And so Max's materials and items become very much nothing special. It's like, oh yeah, you just put out this, who gives a fuck, this, and you just pretty much go like that, like, am I done yet? Am I done? You be pretty much checking your own damn watch, like, is it done yet? Is it done? Because pretty much because there's a lot of padding, and when you get to face like the main boss and he beats you, there's even more padding. Like, oh my god, we could have been done with this like right now, but it's not, because since you face that boss not once, not twice, but 3 times, and another 4th time, but it's just a special annoying one where he's in. Well, I'm gonna spoil this, so spoiler alert. He's in a car, right, and your car is destroyed, and all you have is bomb sticks. Again, it might sound fun on paper, but it's really annoying. Very, very annoying. A lot. Annoying. Because these enemies, again, like I said beforehand, are not smart. They're just annoying. They're just annoying pests that just like, oh my god, because you can just keep shooting in the face and you'd be okay with that because they don't know how to evade gunshots. I mean, not gunshot, but avoid like getting shot. They don't like, oh, we should really dodge. We ain't gonna dodge. We're just gonna sit here like that. Okay. And plus, if you pick up their own weapons, you can't keep that weapon. It breaks down too. If you beat up like how many hit points you have against the enemy, and it breaks. Woo! I know, right? And since most of the boss fights are pretty much all Bane fights, which it is true, they're all Bane fights. It's like Bane always rush towards you. You put a quick hit combo, and he can whirl around, go around. He charges at you, but he hits a wall. Same, rinse and repeat. You hit him, run, things like that. So there's nothing really special or interesting or good. When it comes to the convoys, I know I'm going off track here. The convoys is really fun and really unique because the convoys become very special because the terrain, you gotta drive really fast, but also at the same time watch out for his the followers or his convoys his party really. You take out the party and then take out the convoy with your grappling hook or your missile launcher or your shotgun or your torches or whatever the case may be. It gives you more things to do. And when it comes to like on-ground boss fights, there's nothing much you can do. It's just boring and bullshit. You get one of those rare type of enemies that has blades, but there's only like two boss fights like that, and that's it. And that's a good thing too because they're not fun. They're just like, okay, just press counter, triangle, and that's pretty much it. That's all you do with that fight. But when it comes to this type of fight, these Bane fights, they're just annoying and just like, okay, right out the way, shotgun, and you know what I mean. And this is where the game pretty much loses its steam because the combat, like hand-to-hand combat, or it comes to boss fights, they become just boring, really monotonous and boring. Taking out guard towers with snipers on them, taking out rocket propelled towers as well, which is really fun because you use your grappling hook and like because you're outside as well. But if you're indoors, the gameplay becomes more limited, very, very limited. And so some racing parts, there will be lag or pretty much downgrade. Frame rates will drop too at times. Like, what? It's really weird because there's nothing going on here. Because it will run 60 frames per second if there's nothing going on. If there's something similar going on, it'd be like 40 or 30 frames per second. But if there's like multiple enemies on screen, and if there's a lightning storm, which is a sandstorm, by the way, the frame rate will drop. It's like into the 20s to 12s, or sometimes this is rare, 10s frames per second. And it's annoying as fuck. Oh god, it's very annoying. And the fights, again, become uninteresting, just boring, because the frame rate will drop, and the button commands will pretty much not respond to your fast movements. It's like, what the hell? I blocked that shit. Whatever. You say whatever a lot because the combat isn't fast enough. Like say, look at The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3's combat is fast enough that you go really fast to your control, but the program understands what you're doing. So you're going to block, hit, but also mix up combinations, which is really cool. Here, it takes its sweet time because Max itself, he's a very slow, ruggish character. He's not like Mad Max, but Max Payne. You could say he's a slow character, but he's a fluent and more flexible type character. He can go zooming here, bullet shots, and everything like that because he was specially trained. Mad Max, you don't get that much detail about him at all in this game. However, we all know his story anyways. But in the game, it really become really full of detail. So, and it reminded me of a movie, which was Fury Roads. Fury Roads, which lacked detail. What the hell was going on at times, or most times, really. And this game a little more suffer, so I'm like, so what is Max doing here? Okay, why does he want to kill him? There's just so many more questions that was not really answered. And you kind of stop caring about the story because the story does not become detailed for you to understand, or it will pretty much tell you pretty much this is what's going on, how it's going to happen, and why you're doing this. It's just like you gotta go here. Why? Because that happened in the cutscene. Again, why? You get so lost and confused at times because of the story. Well, the cutscenes really makes no damn sense. But also your quest. You got side quests and main quests. However, you can't. It's hard to pretty much locate them on your daily to-do list because it's not on your daily to-do list. It's always on the map. which is confusing. Like, okay, so where do I go to? And the map isn't really good detail at all. It doesn't really tell you, like, some corners of the map has secret, like, passageways or secret corners that where XYZ is, but the map is so undetailed, unpolished that you can't really tell what the fuck you're going towards. And this leads on to pretty much the biggest complaint here I have for this game was the sandstorms. The sandstorms. I hate the sandstorms. Unlike Metal Gear Solid 5, which does have sandstorms, it was reasonable and also it was realistic. Where because it blinds the enemies, it also blinds you as well. So you pretty much just it's like cat and mouse. This was just annoying because it just threw shit at you. It threw miscellaneous stuff. It threw a lot of things at you. And it just got very annoying because it lasted way too damn long. And the lightning strikes, oh my god, it was broken. Why is it broken? Because you see the floor electrified before the lightning strike actually hits the place, which is like, that's not how lightning works. And also, that's stupid physics, which it is. And the physics comes into a bigger issue when because it's like this. Imagine if you're on like a rope, like a bridge-like rope. If that makes any sense. And your shotgun's right there, right? It's above the rope itself. You see the enemies down there. When you shoot your gun, you hit an invisible wall on that bridge. Yes, invisible wall. There's invisible walls in this game, and they're annoying. Very, very annoying. It's like, really? 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 And when it comes to invisible walls, more frustration. More frustration. More frustration. The game, coming to the end of the game after that awful racing at the end, close to the end of the game does not get any better. It just goes downhill because you're doing a lot of backtracking, you're doing all these stupid side quest missions for no damn reason because it makes no damn sense. And you just want to pretty much go out and just drive and blow up some shit with your own car because your car is pretty much the main focus. Well, I take that back. Imagine Arkham Knight was pretty much focused all over the damn car. Where at Mad Max, the car is pretty much like in it, like you only use the car for like, again, I'm only saying story wise, 30%. While it's pretty much leaving the area, which is very annoying too, or you're trying to escape an enemy, which is also annoying. When you try to fight an enemy or chase them down, that's really fun. Or sniping people from your car, that's also awesome. However, you can't really take that sniper with you or that rocket or that fire stick with you because they're always in the car. You only have a shotgun, which has sucky as hell range. When you upgrade even more, the range is still sucky. And the physics is still terrible. Like, okay. And so, what I'm trying to say is that since there's lag in the game, when it's depending what's going on, the frame rate will drop due to the lag. Or the missions themselves become very mundane and just boring just to deal with. And on-ground combat or the boss fights are just bland and boring. So it's the last one. The last one was super annoying. And that one fucking race mission that I hate so much, you would pretty much throw your controller to the side because it's so damn annoying. But I mean, this game is still fun within means, within reason. If you focus on the driving parts, it's very fun. It reminds you of Burnout. But if you focus the game as a whole, it's boring. It's really, 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 really painfully boring because Max is a slow character. It's just boring to play with Max and pretty much on the foot combat. It's really boring because he's not fast, he's slow, and he only has one gun when he goes on foot. One gun, which is a sawed-off shotgun, and that's it. Upgrading him is very cool. I love the upgrades for the car mostly, and Max as well, but the car is more my favorite because you can upgrade a car to the fullest extent and pretty much just play around and just fuck up a lot of shit. And because you put a lot of weight on it as well, it would make the car slower. If you put less weight on it, it makes the car faster. However, it makes the car a little bit more vulnerable to attacks outside of it. So that's really cool. It also makes you think even more how to go about things. When it comes to Max, you just run in, guns and blazing, shank foes, and just do a lot of pointless combat. And I say it's pointless because you just repeating the same damn X button and triangle. There's no button combinations at all. You might say, "Oh, yes, there is." No, there isn't. Stop lying. And when you upgrade Max, like his wrist and his knuckles as well, that shit does not do shit. like, oh, I'm gonna do extra damage with these make believe blades of on my knuckles. Yes, I'm gonna break the enemy's neck now, or pretty much kill them really fast. No, that doesn't happen like that. Just use a shotgun, pull it to their stomach, and it's over. It's straight over. Wow, straight over. That's a new one. But what else? I mean, it's still beautiful, but again, I take that back. It's not over. It's not too beautiful. It's actually kind of ugly at times because the ugliness is when the items blend in with the background, which is a terrible thing. Looks like with Arkham Knight, where everything blended fucking in with the environment because everything was neon and dark and lens flare type lights, whatever. So, anyways, my rating for this game is like, I wasn't gonna say a badass sun rating, but remembering that awful racing and that pretty much tedious last boss fight, it brings it down even more further. But not like in a bad range, like, oh, this is boring as hell or bullshit city. No. It's pretty much a sigh okay. It's a sigh okay because the gameplay, again, if you go and talk about racing combat, it's very, very fun. And it reminds you about Burnout series, which I do like the Burnout series. Mostly 3 and Takedown and other things like that. But anyways, always like, oh, train thought, yes. And the character of Max, it's not a bad character. He's a really cool character. The story is enjoyable to watch, and the supporting characters have their uses, and that's it really. But compared to with the bugs, like the car driving bug, or the awful racing mission and the awful last boss mission, or pretty much all the boss missions in the game were all boring and you didn't give a fuck. And I would say Invisible Wall, and pretty much Max is a very slow as hell character, which is unfair for the player because your hands will start to hurt even more. You start having you have carpal tunnel or arthritis for some odd reason because since he moves so slow, and he does, it would drive you insane put like that. And so it gets a sigh okay because of those reasons, but I would still say get this game as a rental when it goes down the price tag on Steam or whoever, or on console. You can get it on console for full price, but I won't recommend it though. I wouldn't recommend it. So yes, it gets a sigh okay, and I'm getting the hell out of here to post up the last video of Mad Max. And also stay tuned because I'll be with Geeks at Around to talk about The Flash and S.H.I.E.L.D., which are 2 great shows, and it happened last night, and it was awesome. And as always, folks, do keep it locked, loaded, and very warm for me because I'll be back with a grizzly beard.